All right, hello. So today we're going to talk about blocks to being proud of ourselves. And this kind of came about. Oh, and if you're watching and you don't me, my name is Kim Kardisha and my business is Hidden Promise. And what I absolutely love to do is take the lessons that horses offer and teach people how to develop their compassionate leadership and be able to not only have better partnerships with their horses, but be able to lead their lives from the things that horses offer. So, anyhow, this actually, my daughter was involved in this because when the weekend before Thanksgiving, it was her musical and she had to lead, and it was just an amazing experience. And after the first performance, as we were driving home, she said to me, I am so proud of myself. And as a mama, there's not much more that you could really just want your kid to be able to say. um, and through the week I was thinking about that a lot. And actually, I love working with horses and being able to listen to them and help them in their journey of energetic rehab. But I also love, I called it before, watching people light up. And I'll probably still call that, but there's also an element there of being able to say that we're proud of ourselves. And there can be, one of the blocks can be that it feels like, getting my notes here, that if we're proud of ourselves, that we're going to be arrogant, because that saying, what is it? Pride cometh before a fall. And so there can be this element of thinking that if you're proud of yourself, you're being arrogant, or you're somehow making yourself better than somebody else. And it's really not being boastful. But if we can't feel proud of who we are, it's really hard to step into a leadership position, or even to set boundaries and have a healthy relationship or connection with other humans. So if we can kind of let that idea go, that if we're proud of ourselves, we're somehow being arrogant or boastful. And it's real easy for some of us to be proud of somebody else, or maybe even to say that we're proud of our efforts, but there can be that disconnect when we want to say, oh, I'm proud of myself. So that can be one of the blocks. And sometimes just bringing attention to that can help dissipate it somewhat. Another block to being proud of ourselves is comparison. It's real easy, especially like on social media or something like that, to look at everybody else, or maybe even just one other person, and feel like we are not enough, not be proud of who we are or what we've done, because it doesn't look like it measures up to somebody else. So swim in your own lane, run your own race. Remember, your life is about you. And it's okay that your path looks different, that your result is different, because oftentimes what we end up doing is comparing our everyday adventure of life to somebody else's highlight reel. So, best that you can, stay in your lane and celebrate what you've done, who you're becoming, who you are, who you want to be. And that's kind of another block, is overlooking the small wins, because life is a process, life is a journey, and it's made up of steps. And we really can only progress from a success. We can't really progress if we're feeling like we've failed at something, not using it as a learning experience, but judging it as a failure, judging ourselves at a failure. It's hard to move forward into something, because we have to get ourselves out of the pit of despair back up to even level ground. So, giving ourselves that grace and counting what we've done as something important, as something significant that will help us be able to be proud of ourselves. Another block is perfectionism. Sometimes perfectionism is actually a fear of failure. Sometimes it can be a fear of succeeding. What it does all the time, though, is it inhibits us from being able to move forward. So if we think about those little steps that we've taken, we give ourselves credit, we can focus more on our achievements and our efforts than our flaws. And when you look at it that way, it's much easier to consider being proud of yourself. I won't say yet that you have to get there, but consider, because we're going to take steps, right? If you're listening to this, chances are it's not easy for you to be proud of yourself. And the last one that we're going to talk about is negative inner dialogue. And this one kind of bleeds over the other ones, because if we're comparing ourselves, that inner dialogue, the critical inner dialogue, can get worse. It can make us feel inferior, basically take away all of our wins. So we want to be on the lookout for that. And we also take away our growth efforts. And all of these are also more likely to be in a fixed mindset than a growth, which we've talked about a lot, the people on here. Yes, we have. If you haven't, stay tuned, because I'm sure there'll be more, because it's a real big part of the inner journey and our adventures in compassionate leadership. Because if we can't show compassion to ourselves, it's going to be harder to show it to others, to show it to our horse when the pressure is on. Because how you do anything is how you do everything if you go deep enough. So one of the things that I would like to share with you, an idea on how to get a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable with being proud of yourself, is to write yourself a letter, or pretend it's an email or something, talking to yourself as you would somebody else. Even writing it in, I think it's third person. Like if I were doing it, I'd write, "Good morning, Kim. I'm glad that you're looking forward to this day. You really did a great job yesterday with blah, blah, blah." Because most of us will talk much kinder. We will be much more supportive of other people, of our friends, our family, our kids, than we are of ourselves. So getting in the habit of talking to ourselves the way we talk to other people will help reduce some of these blocks to being proud of yourself. So if you're up for it, if you're having a kind of a hard time feeling like you can, feeling like you're able to, give it a try to write yourself a letter. In the morning can be great, because it kind of sets the intention for the rest of your day. And in this case, maybe you could even tell yourself that you're proud. So thank you for listening to this, and I wish you many proud moments. Bye for now.